growing up, I've always had this problem seeing shadows or hearing someone call me, but no one actually did. I usually remember them vividly, but there's one I remember like it was yesterday. I was 6 or 7 years old and at home with my mom. My dad had gone to drop off my sister at the nursery and then go off to work, so it was just us. We decided to play Uno together, and it was really fun. We ate snacks and just played for a couple of hours. We're about to play the final match when I suddenly needed to use the bathroom. I asked my mom if we could wait a bit because I really needed to go, and she said okay. I rushed into the bathroom and did my business, flushed the toilet, and was about to wash my hands when I saw something from the corner of my eye walk just outside the frame of the bathroom door. I turned my head to look, thinking it would just disappear, as it usually did, but it didn't. Now there was a form, what it looked like, a 6'4" shadow person standing and staring with the widest eyes in front of me. Without looking away, I slowly walked to the sink and washed my hands. I heard something shuffle behind me, and I quickly turned my head around, terrified it would be another one, but there was nothing. I whipped my head back to the doorway, and a 6'4" shadow man at the doorway was turned towards the kitchen and walked there and disappeared right in front of my eyes. I was horrified and frozen in place. As soon as I snapped out of it, I ran to my mom and told her what I saw while hyperventilating. She told me to wait in the living room and check the house, but there was nothing. No signs of anyone being there. She told me I was probably just seeing things, and it was just my imagination. But I know what I saw. My mom doesn't know this, but I saw him that very night. But I wasn't scared this time. I was relieved, because I wasn't imagining things. He didn't say anything to me, but I'm guessing it's because he had no mouth. I didn't move, but I closed my eyes, and when I reopened them, he was gone. Even to this day, I see him at the corner of my eye. I see others too, and I've learned to live with it. I'd like to hear if anyone else had a story like mine, or other stories. Anyways, how was your childhood? So I haven't really told anyone this because it's so crazy. I don't think anyone is ever going to believe me. The house I live in now with my mom and dad has always been creepy. It's a 50-year-old row home house that has seen a lot of death. To the old lady dying in the kitchen, to the little boy killed by his mom and dad. Yeah, a lot of fucked up shit happened here. But that's now what I'm going to get into today. We moved in here when I was 7. I'm now 23. I used to have the back room, and my mom had one rule: no lights on to go to bed. I always hated that rule, because I was little. I should have been able to have a nightlight. Anyway, one day I was asleep, and I heard my door open and my light turn on, and the cover was pulled off my face. And what I saw scared me half to death, that I still can't really understand what it was. Some weird monster thing was over me, and I screamed, and it ran out of my room. My mom opened the door, and we both ran into each other. That's not the weird part, though. My mom looked down the stairs and watched it run out the front door. After that day, she moved me out of that room and moved me to the bigger room with a lock on the door. She won't talk about what she saw, and if I bring it up, she looks at me with this, fear in her eyes and tells me to leave it be. This isn't the only thing that has happened. It only gets worse from here. So I really didn't expect anyone to be interested, but I'm so happy you guys are. So remember, I said my mom moved me into a different room. Well, that didn't help at all. One day I came home from school and took a nap. Mind you, a nap for me back then was like a 5 to 7 hours I could go without eating. So while sleeping, I kept hearing a weird laughing and breathing coming from the other side of my room. I turned over because I was facing the wall, and there is a man in the corner. I wanted to run up and get the light, but he was closer to it than me. I screamed, trying to call my mom, but she couldn't hear me. And the man kept laughing and laughing. So now I'm freaking out, and I take one and run to the light switch. When I reach it and look back at the corner, he was gone. At first I thought I was just seeing things till, back in bed, lights on, I felt something lay next to me. And when I looked, nothing was there. but I heard a laugh again. And then banging on the door started. I kept screaming, "Leave me alone," until my dad and mom came running out of the room and started telling me to open the door. After that, my mom let me leave a light on to sleep. So now I have stars that light up my room. My mom doesn't care. She knows I can't sleep in the dark anymore. That's when they mess with me the most.
I'm a male, 28, and I live in the northeast part of Tennessee, and I love anything to do with horror. So before I begin, here's a little backstory. I moved in with my aunt about a year and a half ago until I straightened up my life a little, but just in a couple of weeks of me being there, her fiance died because his liver basically exploded, and well, my aunt and I witnessed the entire thing. It was truly sad, but fucked up at the same time. He passed away in the apartment. Then not too long after he died, our neighbor at the end of the complex died because of the exact same reason. We were close to her. I believe that this is important for the story. So some time goes on, and things start getting a little strange. Like things mysteriously disappearing, then reappearing, and the feeling of being watched. Now when I say that, it wasn't a bad feeling, but it was definitely there. And it felt like it was watching out of curiosity or protection. So not too long after that is when it gets even stranger. My aunt and I were in the kitchen one night talking, as we always did, when all of a sudden the microwave turns on by itself, and there was no way one of us hit it. As we look at each other in shock, she shuts it off, and right as she was saying how weird that was, it came back on. We watched it do that for a couple more times until she finally unplugged it and went to bed. Well, a few weeks pass, and I'm laying in bed with the woman I was seeing at the time, when all of a sudden, all of the doors upstairs then slam shut. Then either the front or back metal doors slammed shut as well, and we heard running up the stairs and right to my door. We sat up waiting on someone to bust through the door, but nothing happened. I get up and open the door, and no one was there. I then run downstairs to check everywhere for someone in the house, but nothing. And to top it all off, both metal doors were already locked. As soon as I told her this, she immediately wanted to leave. So after that, things had started to calm down for a while. That is, until last night. So I was getting ready for work, and I work graveyard, so it was late. I was getting ready to smoke before I left the house. I went to my room and I shut my door so the whole house didn't smell me smoking. But as I sat down, I witnessed my door slowly opening. As I was in shock, I called out, "Jeffrey, if that's you or Miss Caroline, please stop." And just as I said that, it stopped. Now, I'm agnostic, but I've always leaned more towards atheistism because I really hate religion and everything about it. But this experience has been a total mindfuck. Not because it scared me, not because I'm more curious than scared, but because it's confused me even more. I just hope it has good intentions and not bad. I almost forgot to mention, I was telling my neighbor directly beside me as I thought he was going to call me a lunatic. He looked relieved, and he told me he had been experiencing the same types of things as I was. Pretty damn weird and creepy stuff. Anyways, thanks for listening.
Hi everyone, it's curiousraven. I just want to tell everyone thank you so much for being part of my 12 days of Advent. I love every single one of you. Thank you to all the Redditors who allowed me and my fellow narrators to read their really ooky spooky stories. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I probably won't be back until January, so I can have a little break with my family, a little vacation. I love y'all so much. Spend time with your family and friends and the people that love you. Hold them close, and please stay safe these holidays. Until next time, remember, it's scary out there.